So what could you do in the next 20 seconds exactly that would collapse the entire map on the opponent?
I could run bottom and like we just cut the wave bottom.
You would blink bottom with S
Yeah.
and Y phase boots running at 515 move speed. And right after you clear that wave, what are you doing?
Probably after I clear that wave, farming the ancients and farming back towards mid.
Does farming that ancient collapse the map on the opponent?
No.
What collapsed the map on the opponent right after you cut bottom?
Well, I drop skeletons and hit the wave. Keep the wave pushed in.
Yes. So let's theorize this. This is really obvious when I lay it out like this. Right now, your team's gonna clear mid. You're gonna clear bottom. Now what?
They'll have to fix it. Then we can go Roche.
And while they're fixing it, what are you gonna do?
Roche.
What needs to be done right before you go Roche?
Pushing the waves in.
Which wave is left?
Oh, top.
Dude, it's so f***ing obvious, guys. Think about it. What does the opponent do if your team pushes mid, you cut bottom, you TP top, and you blink down the lane top, lane shoved in top, and you hit Roche? What are they going to do about it? Please tell me. Give me an exact play that they can do anything about that.
I don't know.
They can't do any f***ing jack shit, dude. They can't do anything. They literally can't do anything.
Banana slam jam.
I said Dota's been going less well lately. I've been like on a free fall in MMR, but it's been kind of leveling out and getting better lately.
Do you want to sing it with me?
What?
Free falling. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna do that on stream. Sorry.
So what's going on, man? What's wrong with it?
I think I don't know. I'm just like I think I've been in a bad mental state in games and just running into fights I shouldn't, and like I've just running into the problem where my MMR went down a little bit because I was trying some new heroes, and then just ran into people doing a lot of frustrating things in game, and keeping positive mental attitude during that was challenging. But I also think I'm just not necessarily itemizing well in a lot of these games. So I don't know. I picked a couple of recent ones to check out today. They're all carry games. This one's a game.
Do you want me to do that one first?
Yeah, let's do that one first.
Okay.
That
I
one
feel
didn't
you,
go
bro.
well at all.
You know, man, mentality is a constant struggle. You know, I was not too proud of my mentality for the last couple weeks as well. For me, a lot of it was stress, just working a lot and overworking myself.
Yeah, same.
So, shit happens. It's good to acknowledge that you think, you know, you weren't thinking straight. But my only goal today, if you have any questions about trying to think more straight because you're struggling, let me know. But I'll just focus on things you need to think about. Usually the best thing you can do is make sure you have shit to think about. Otherwise, you get sidetracked pretty easily. So let's check this out. You see my screen?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, this is one I feel like we should have won because you could see that we had like twice our kills, but we definitely threw at some point.
Sounds good, man. So you're against a Invoker 4 or what? Ember 4? What's going on here?
I believe in this game it is an Invoker 4.
Invoker
If I remember
mid.
correctly.
So it's either AA or Ember Spirit 4. So we'll figure it out.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
Okay, get a kill at the rune. Not bad.
You've just achieved first blood. Thanks and have fun.
Okay. I'm just saying, I've now seen this like twice in my coaching sessions. I highly encourage you to just run bottom here. I mean, eventually at like 7 minutes into the game, you're gonna have to TP away, probably. You know, there's like a chance, like a pretty reasonable chance that that happens. And you do not want to fly yourself a TP. Dude, that shit's fucking expensive. So ever since the recent patch, dude, get that kill at the rune, and then think to yourself, how long can I stay here without it griefing me to walk all the way back bottom? For the most part, unless it's like a niche scenario, like, expect that you are never TPing here, okay? Like, just play the rune.
That's fair.
Play the rune fight like you're never TPing. Because, like, if that means that you get that original kill and you're immediately dipping, then, you know, that's what that means. You know what I mean? Like, that's fine. I think, like, chasing the AA there and then with the intent to TP, yeah, it's just too expensive. TPs fucking suck, dude. So, at least in this current patch. So, like, last patch where you got 3 of them, you didn't have to buy a new one until, like, 12 minutes. Whatever. Who cares about TPing deer safely? But in this case...
Yeah, that makes sense. AA feels like a very annoying support for this patch too. I will
And
say
you got a
that.
Warlock. He's countered. I don't love the aggressive move there. Your hero's like efficiency of damage is a stun and a hit, right? Like that's your efficiency. So I don't mind you stunning here, but you stayed like way too long. The reason why the stun is good, like we can analyze this on a lot of levels. So first off, your contribution to damage is like a stun and a hit because that's like where you're efficient. And then next, the reason why this is a good stun is because the centaur is not there. So combining those two things, it's great for you to stun and hit this guy and then immediately back off, right? And it seems small, guys, but if you're going to go for aggressive plays, if you're going to try to make good trades in lane, you need to understand that it's like a very specific where that line of how far you chase is. Just last game, that Enchantress I played against wasn't the best laner. I baited him into chasing me like 3 times. Like he chased me and then the Wyvern would then activate. It was really cool because at my level, I don't get to play with too many like good support players. So I had like a rank 100 EU support player. And the minute that Enchantress crossed the line, I kind of knew like that guy's gone too far. And my Wyvern would then pop her Arctic Burn, like right after the Enchantress had ran too far. But he didn't do it like super early, you know? He let the Enchantress go to that point. So it's like, it's very important that you understand exactly where that line is. And you know, you've played a shit ton of Wraith King. So it's not something that I wouldn't expect you to know for Wraith King. And it's like suddenly that good move you did is completely like wasted, right? You have to pop a salve, you know, you take a lot of extra damage there. Okay, small things, but they add up. So,
That makes sense.
let's see. Sport gets a pull off. So this is a circumstance where, if this AA was like a Willow, where if you walk up, he's going to, you know, threaten the bramble and then lead into a stun. If it's like a Willow or a Rubik or something like that, then what you're doing here is correct. But otherwise, I think you should really prioritize getting these creeps in XP. Like, your Warlock's going to pull, and you could just literally sit here. Getting experience.
Even if I can't.
Yeah, I understand that you don't feel good about walking up, right? I can understand that. But maybe you could have even dragged this creep back. You know, you could have pulled it to like over here. But yeah, you effectively get denied 4 creeps there because you weren't in range at all for 2 of them. So definitely a little bit of over passivity coming from you there. Like, there are some lanes where you literally can't walk up at all, but this definitely isn't one of them. If you can walk up, you should definitely try to. I don't think I'm a huge fan of Bracer in this lane. I've been leaning away from Bracer a lot. I've also been leaning towards rushing Phase a lot on most heroes. Jug, Wraith King, any heroes that go Phase, I feel like it's really nice to rush at this patch. The reason why I say Bracer's pretty underwhelming in this lane is you're not directly contesting the Centaur very often anyways. Bracer gives you a bit of sustain, which the Warlock is already giving you. And you're not, like, bursted. You're not getting bursted. You're not, like, getting bursted. You're not trading a lot. You're kind of just moving around. Do you notice that?
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I think especially with like the sustain of the Warlock. I think I don't end up playing with Warlocks 5s that often. I think it just didn't.
Well, I think even
really
without the
appreciate
Warlock, like, kind of look at how the lane's going. So, and a good example of this is the reason why I say to rush Phase a lot. A lot of the offlaners, Axe and Centaur, and even Mars, they're really punishing if they catch you even slightly out of position. They're really punishing. Slardar, you know, if they catch you with like a quick stun or like a slow and then hit you 5 times, you take a shit ton of damage. So I've actually noticed that just rushing Phase has been way better for me this patch. This patch specifically, it's been a lot of that. I think it largely has to do with the offlane hero pool. I'm kind of just giving you like, oh, I've played a lot of games and come to this realization, so I don't think I would expect you to have this realization necessarily. Just something to think about. You know, I'm telling you what happened in this lane and why specifically, you know, it'd be nice to have Phase here, but I'm just telling you I've noticed it happen in a large portion of my games. So
Makes sense. All right. Okay.
So like walking up and dragging creep aggro there, walking up and quickly sniping a CS. You'd just rather have the full phase boots right now than that bracer. That's how I kind of look at it.
Yeah, fair, because I can't really fight him.
Yeah, look at what you're doing, right? You're choosing fights here and there. You're trying to like walk up and stun the AA, weaving in and out. Yeah, you're kind of. It's nice to have a case in point when it comes to the way you're playing. A lot of times we come to the right realization of how we are supposed to play the lane, and now let's get your items to reflect that at all points, as often as possible, right? Okay. Yeah, I think Wraith King's really strong this patch. He feels really good.
Yeah, it's funny. I haven't been playing it that much, but it's. I think it's because I got bored of it last patch because it was still pretty good then too. But
yeah,
it does feel good.
It seems to be winning a lot of the games I play. A few times I've played it, it's felt really nice. Looks good in the DPC as well. It's weird because he just got nerfed so much.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like all the nerfs are very tiny though to Wraith King for the most part. They're all pretty incremental.
I think it was Fogged who said like the crit, or maybe it was Cap when I was talking to him. It's just like the innate crit was so fucking good. It'll take like more nerfs to actually make him bad. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, just every 4 seconds is kind of broken still.
So you're doing normal Wraith King things here, I would say.
Yeah, the game gets. I mean, we're like you can see like we're winning quite a bit at this point.
Yep, fast forwarding. I've been a big fan of Armlet Wraith King. I don't know how often you've been buying it, but
I've been doing that some games. I maybe should have gone on with this game. I still like went Radiance a lot the last patch, just Nitro farming speed. In this game, I felt like I had a pretty good lane, like a decent enough lane where I could get Radiance pretty fast. But
so the way I look at this, just to tell you why, and I'm not telling you you're wrong, I'm just telling you why, is so when you have Armlet, so you'd have, I think it's like 2200, which is 25,
yeah,
whatever, something. You'd have it about right now. So let's just say what Armlet would do for you. I just want to make sure we're on the same page that I'm not telling you you're wrong. I'm telling you that let's consider the impact that this would have. So right now you'd have it. You'd have it about right now. You also would have been building small components, so you would be a slightly stronger throughout the course of this. The biggest thing I would think about Armlet right now is if I see the map like it is right now, where I see 2 enemies top, 2 enemies here, I'm straight up fucking rocking this Jug right now. Like, if he walks up, he's getting fucking domed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just gonna hit him for, it almost doubles your damage. You know, your Armlet's what? Like 70 damage?
Something like that.
15, and then 50.
35 damage, so 50, then 25.
75 damage.
75 damage.
Yeah, it's pretty much like almost doubling your damage right now, like 70% increase.
Attack speed.
And like, so I mean, on Wraith King, the attack speed's nice, but like the fact that your crits most of your damage.
What do you want?
Like, so the way I look at this patch is that I personally have viewed that if I'm able to control an area with my hero, I do it. If I'm able to. And so that usually comes with, if there's a hero that I would be not too comfortable farming in front of or feel like I don't really do anything to, and there's an item I can buy, then I would buy it. It's kind of similar to Centaur here because the Armlet actually makes you do like 3 times as much damage because most of the time they have a Vanguard at this point. I don't know why this guy didn't rush Vanguard. Kind of weird champ there. But like instead of him blocking 70 damage out of 109, he's blocking 70 damage out of 180. So it's much more impactful that way. So all I'm saying is to consider the fact that you would, instead of running this small camp, you'd go fuck this Jug up right now.
Yeah, it's fair. I think like that's something I struggle with sometimes playing hard is like figuring out where to get really aggro early because I don't know, it just feels risky sometimes because if you go do that and you don't immediately capitalize, it's like, all right, I don't have.
Well, my question is, if you were to bully Jug out right now, so I want to remind you and everyone else that the reason Jug was able to clear that wave right there is because you farmed a small camp. So with the items you have right now, it's reasonable that maybe you wouldn't be able to bully him away. So then farming the small camp's correct. But so what Armlet would do here is that instead of farming that small camp, you would bully that Jug away. And if you bullied the Jug away, like right after you killed this camp and you ran like immediately like this and cleared the wave, if you clear this wave, where could you go? What could you do here?
From that, it's I guess I could TP top and get the wave up there, which is going to push in a second.
So let's not be 4K. You're armlet. You have really strong. You have an armlet. You're really strong. You got ult. Where could you go?
Yeah. I mean, running their triangle seems crazy. There's too many people
Okay.
there.
We're not just going to blind run into their triangle, but what could we do?
I mean, I could start hitting that tower bottom, I guess, but that also seems risky.
Why not walk at mid tower?
Yeah, and then we go walk up mid tower.
So it's like one of those things where I'm not telling you everything you're doing here is incorrect, but when I'm up by 4K at 13 minutes, I have two choices. One, to go like super greedy like you're doing, or two, to exert as much pressure on the map as possible. In my opinion, based on what I've seen so far, it's better to choose pressure this patch. That's what I've seen, okay? A lot of the heroes are very farm heavy, like even Centaur as an offlaner is very farm heavy, and they get punished by just consistently getting ran at. And I think that's why a lot of Wraith Kings are going for the armlet. And it's like, if mid tower was already dead, I feel like armlet wouldn't really offer you much here. But by going armlet, you'd probably take that mid tower, and then once you take that mid tower, you might be able to then invade triangle or take some of their farm. But with what items you have, your playstyle is fine. I just want you to realize that I think you could probably just freely take that mid tower if you had an armlet. And your team is like kind of ready to do things. Like you have a lot of mid gamers, so it's like, notice how they're trying to take that mid tower. You could have been there helping, and you're just consciously choosing not to, which I'm just telling you to make sure you know that you had an option to maybe be a part of that.
Got it.
I would have chosen to be a part of the game, but I've also been playing a lot of EU recently, so it's kind of a different mentality. So let's not autopilot. I need you to create pressure, my friend. I need you to realize you're up by fucking pretty decent amount of gold right now. Obviously, you don't know, but obviously you're rushing Radiance, so you're not going to be able to apply a shit ton of pressure. But what do you think I'm getting at here, actually?
That I should probably just keep walking this lane up top. I see a guy mid and I see a guy bottom, and I should like make them. And I don't know that word. I do know that word's there, but I should just make them come at me essentially.
Yeah. So it seems like very nitpicky to a lot of viewers. I say that a lot, but you know what? It's like every little movement you make in Dota, it just adds up so much. You know? So instead of continuously putting a little bit of pressure on, you're continuously taking the small camp bottom, and you're taking the triangle here. And this is what you just can't do when you're up by like 3,000 gold at 14 minutes into the game. It's like, stop, you said you're a little bit scared to like feed away the gold and shit. Stop being a pussy, guys. Stop it's going to keep you at 4K. What I'm telling you is maybe one or two of those deaths in a game might cost you the game, but never going for plays that might get you killed is going to make you not gain an MMR. Like, you're just going to stagnate because you're not pushing anything, Like, what you've done up until this point has gotten you to about 4K. So what that means is you have to do more, right? Hey, I know you understand, you make sense, but you got to go more. You got to go further beyond, So, Super Saiyan 3 style. So, yeah.
I think I have been actually playing quite passively, and it's I don't know. I've just been having trouble with some games where I'm like trying to go like too ham too fast, and I get my ass beat for it, and then other games like this where I think I'm just definitely not creating as much pressure as I can be. Finding the happy medium is difficult sometimes.
Well, I'd rather you like. It's these little moves, right? It's like I want you to notice it more rather than like a crazy aggressive plays. It's like you're choosing between farming a camp and farming a wave, consistently.
Yeah.
And it's like, I need you to consciously say, man, I really don't think I can farm that wave. That's like the really biggest decision that's costing you in like so far. And people may say, BSJ, he's still up by 3K. The game still seems like it's going okay. He's rushing a radiance, all that kind of stuff. It's just that you do that 8 or 9 times. That might just be like 4 extra creep waves for the opponent and 5 extra jungle camps, Like, it just adds up. What if that's like 400 gold worth of farm that you just randomly gave them? You're able to get your own farm and take theirs. That's the double dipping right there. So we're going to be pushing top. We got ourselves a Radiance. Farm your way backwards, man. It's 17 minutes. I need you to realize right now that it's 17 minutes in. You should probably be chilling right here, ready to farm this and then farm your way back.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, but instead of saying between a lane and a camp, you're choosing between the aggression of the camp or not. And you just can't be
Okay.
that scared, man. Make them prove that they're gonna like 4-man smoke gank you or some shit.
Yeah, especially because they would get getting mid tower if I draw them all top.
Yeah, so this is once again just a bit overly passive. It's adding up for sure. I think this move to mid would be great if you walked like this, you know, like from after pushing top to going mid, but now it feels a bit forced, so you're gonna go jungle again. I will tell you and everyone watching this, every little moment of passivity will compound on itself, because every moment that you miss to be aggressive, it'll mean you'll have less opportunities to be aggressive later, okay? Because the opponent is getting more out of the map than they should be getting. So, with that in mind, notice how because top lane's not being pushed and you're walking the direction you came from, it doesn't feel like it's exactly good to run into this mid tower. So then, because of that, you end up farming this camp, you know, and now you're farming this camp. And it's like, if we had just pushed this and then farmed these 3 camps or some shit, this tower would feel like really convenient. But because we're not poshing ourselves aggressively on the map, it just feels really awkward, you know, and it's like, I always say pushing top here makes pushing this mid tower way easier. I'd probably buy a wand. You're against Invoker. I'd buy a wand for sure. Yeah, I would have bought a wand there for sure. So we end up taking the tower. Yeah, so this is like this is the same thing I talked about last session. So here's my question. You take this fight. You get a few kills. I'll ask you right now. When they respawn, do you want to fight them again?
Not really. I don't have that much mana, and I don't have like all my spells are on cooldown. And
by my spells, you mean your teammates' spells or what?
I mean, like, I don't have fresh skellies, and I don't have reincarnations.
Okay. Here's the key. I literally just got done with a guy that's like 5.4k European that did the exact same thing, okay? So, I have been evolving my coaching approach. Right now, I would tell you it's strictly, like, not right now. I'd say like 3 or 4 months ago, I'd tell you it's strictly wrong to go for this tier 2. But I'm not going to do that today, because what I've been trying to realize now is that if I tell you guys what's right or wrong, I don't think it actually helps you, okay? So here's what I'm going to tell you. If you fight here, or if you push here, meaning you push that tier 2 tower, I want you to look at the lanes, okay? Look at the other 2 lanes. What do those lanes represent to you? Like, tell me what they kind of mean for the map right now.
They're just golden resources that can be taken.
No, I mean, like, the fact that they're, whether or not they're pushed or not, what does that mean to either team?
Oh, well, it's vision for one.
Okay, I apologize. I'm asking a poor question. Based on the exact status of the lanes right now, what does that mean to each team?
Oh, the lanes are pushing back. They're pushing into them a little bit, it looks like. Well, maybe bottom is pushing into us.
And top lane looks like it's pushing into you, too.
Yeah, I guess you're right. They're both pushing into us.
So when they respawn, what do the lanes mean to them?
When they respawn, that means they don't have to do anything but show up mid and fight.
Okay, so
They don't have to fix anything.
because they don't have to fix anything, like you just told me, okay? If you push this tier 2, you will fight them.
Yeah.
So I am not going to tell you it is strictly incorrect to go for this tier 2. I'm going to tell you that by going for this tier 2, you are telling me you want to fight them, okay? Like, that is what you are saying.
Yeah.
So do you?
I mean, not necessarily, I guess. I mean, the only thing, I think our thought pattern for going for it was that the Ember had just fought back and died, it looks like, and we had 30 some odd seconds. I think we kind of thought we could take it fast.
No. Here's what you need to understand. First off, fortification's a thing in the game of Dota 2. Second off, it ain't gonna be fast no matter what, okay? Unless, it ain't gonna be fast. Fortification, it ain't gonna be fast. It's gonna take at least 20 seconds. Like, because of fortification, at least 20, okay? So with that in mind, if the lanes are not a problem for them, okay, let's just reverse it to the opponent's perspective, okay? You are the opponent. You are losing, okay? The enemy team has Warlock Tide, both of which do not have their ultimate. If the lanes are like they are, what are they going to do?
Fight us.
Fight you. That is objectively correct. Like, there's no...
best possible time for them to fight us.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that, okay? You don't prevent them from fighting you by taking this tier 2 tower. You prevent them from fighting you by one of your supports instantly TPing bottom, pushing it out, you running through their entire jungle, clearing it, and then having top wave shoved in their tier 2 when they're alive. They ain't gonna ever fight you if that's the case on the map. They literally can't. Your top, your support just push bottom, mid lane's at their tier 2. How do they fight you? Like, literally.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
How? Like, they can't. So, I want you guys to start realizing the choice you make dictates whether or not they're going to fight you, okay? It happened almost the exact same way in my last session. I told the guy, they're going to fight you. I hadn't even watched the game yet. Like, meaning I hadn't watched through it like I had with yours. I'm like, they're going to fight you. You know, if you stay here, they're going to fight you. And then they took a fight, and he nearly died, and it ended up, like, not even resulting in the tower. The point is, there are things in Dota that will happen based on what you do. When you win a fight, please consider whether or not you want to fight them again, and if you want to fight them again, barrel down a fucking lane. If you don't want to fight them again, do not stay there, man, please. Like, do not stay. Go clear all the lanes, okay? Like, that is actually such an easy, like, educational tidbit for everyone watching. I'm probably going to have my YouTube editor clip this. It's like, if you guys want to fight them, barrel down a lane after you've already won a fight. If you don't, separate. It's so important.
Yeah, just hate the map for him.
I've now watched, like, massive throws from you and the other guy because you guys just fight them again. You guys don't have any ults. There's, like, no way. This is a clear, ideal fight for the opponent. This is the best chance they're going to get. You know, they're losing by 5k, so it's, like, never going to be perfect. It's never going to be clean from their end. But that's the best chance they got, and they'd be stupid not to take it.
They got me.
Yeah, maybe you live there, you know, but why even give them a chance? That's how I would look at it. Why even let that be a possibility?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll, after this session, remind me to do that, will you?
Sure.
I'll let my YouTube editor know I want that to. I think it'll be. It's been way too commonly occurring today, so I think it'll help a lot of people there. Okay. Okay. Pushed in mid. We TP'd back. Gonna run back top. Your tide's clearing it. Okay. Okay. We can add this to the frickin' educational tidbit. Dota No-Nos 101. You're Radiant. Walking into Roche when top lane's not here and mid lane's not here.
Bad. Yeah.
It's always bad. It's what we call in the biz forcing it. Okay? When you hear casters, when you hear high MMR streamers or me talking about forcing it, it's purely based on what the lanes look like. Okay? It's purely based on what the lanes look like. God damn it, I always leave the map cover on. People are going to hate me. See it in chat, guys. Don't worry, I got it.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
So.
Yep. No, I agree. We forced it here, and I think this is probably where it starts to go bad, because this fight predictably goes poorly, I think.
Like, I just know this is ass. Like, even if it goes well, it's just ass. I would never want this. Now, to the average viewer saying, BSJ, it fucking worked. I'll tell you guys right now. If top lane's at their tier 2 and mid lane's near where their tier 2 would be, it would, and it works right there, it would 100 times over work with the lanes pushed. Like, the lanes pushed will completely decide whether or not this works or not. percentage-wise, okay? So it's like the lane's pushed in, it'll work 100%. Lanes like they are, it'll work like 60 to 70. You know?
Yeah,
Like,
you didn't get a good ice blast off. If you did,
that's how it is. So you guys end up winning the fight. That's fine. Didn't change anything. No punish. We're gonna push the lane. Okay. Even then was like a little bit over passive with push. Dude, push the fucking lane, bro. Who cares about this fucking big camp? That big camp was like 5 seconds of everyone on your team's time, dude. Let's have a sense of urgency. That was a lot.
That's true.
Okay.
I think I need to. That's something I actually been noticing, that I need to just know when to hit jungle camps and the way to things to be efficient, and when I should just be like, fuck it, I have an objective, and go and ignore.
Let's
them.
be very clear, man. Do you hear what the common factor is between all the times I've told you why are you fucking hitting that jungle camp?
Because I can be more aggressive and hit.
There's just something in the same area that's more aggressive than that. So the way you come to the conclusion that you're supposed to hit that jungle camp is because everything that's like more forward on that side of the map is just not available to you. Yeah, like it doesn't feel correct. And so I don't want you to think like I'm not supposed to hit jungle camps or I'm being overly passive. I want you at every single moment to ask yourself, what's the most aggressive thing I could do right here? That's like, that's how you fix this. Because one of those kind of gets you in your own head. And you're kind of like, you know, second guessing your own knowledge of Dota. It's like in all these cases, you're not actually assessing the aggressive, like the capabilities of your aggression. You're kind of just like choosing to hit any camp that's there. You know, that's like kind of what you're doing right now. You see it, right? It's like it's there. It's
I totally see it.
Yeah. So don't get in your own head, man. Dota's a mental game as is. It's hard enough. So rather just, you could literally play from the 10 to 30 minute mark purely going off a gut when it comes to what part of the map you're on, because that's been pretty solid so far. Like in terms of whether or not you're playing bottom or mid or top or whatever. And then just consistently ask yourself, how aggressively can I play here? You know, just keep asking yourself. Because that's the kind of stuff where when I'm like frustrated from teammates or I've lost a bunch of games and I'm like fixated on a bunch of things that don't fucking matter, these are the types of decisions that I will make incorrectly, okay? But if you, like, it's so funny. Today I was just in a good mood, man. Like, when I say I was in a good mood, I was just like, here's what happened, okay? Here's my evolution in the last, like, week, okay? I came to you. Okay, let's. I think this will help, but I want you to be honest with me, okay? After I give you this spiel, tell me if you think it helped at all. If you can say no. I'm telling you, you have the permission to just say, BSJ, you wasted 4 minutes of our coaching session. Okay, so this is for me to learn to be a better coach. I came to Europe. I thought I was gonna have a pretty good amount of time to stream. I started streaming like normal the first week I was here. Turns out most of my casting days are like 11 hours long. So what happens is I end up playing way less Dota than I play as much Dota as I normally do the first week, and I'm literally rotting from the inside out because I'm working like 90 hours a week. So then I decide to scale it back the second week, and I'm like, okay, probably gotta chill the fuck out. And then the third week, I'm acting like I have all of the reflex speed and skills that I would normally have if I was playing 50 hours, 60 hours a week. But I'm not playing that much. I'm playing like 20 or 30 hours a week. So I'm not going to play as well. So then suddenly I get in my own head saying like, God, you're just not playing as well as you should, all that kind of shit. And then I started also having relatively bad teammates. And so it all started with me second-guessing myself. And then after I started second-guessing myself, I started second-guessing all of my teammates. Like, fact is, no matter how good or bad you're playing, your teammates are going to do stupid shit, okay? Like, that's just how it is. Everyone does stupid shit. So, but I noticed that when I was second-guessing myself, I started noticing more how much stupid shit my teammates were doing. Like, my teammates were not, like, drastically more stupid for 2 weeks in a row. I was just noticing it, right? Okay, so I was like, okay, well, what happens when I start get fixated on how stupid shit my teammates are doing? Guess what? I'll do, like, 5 stupid shit things over the course of that game because I'm so fixated on what they're doing that I'm forgetting to concentrate on what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah, it definitely happens.
Yeah, so then today, the beauty of today was I kind of realized, I'm like, okay, I actually accepted that I was not going to play Dota as well, but that I could still do my best. That's what I basically accepted. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take responsibility. There's a reason why I lost a bunch of games here. It's a combination of the fact that I'm not playing as much, but my general attitude has not been good. So I'm like, okay. That's why I told you it's like a constant struggle to wrestle between attitude. So today was beautiful because even though I only went 3-2, I don't care about win-loss. I felt like in all the games that I was like kind of thinking about what I was supposed to be doing at all stages. Every decision was like somewhat conscious, and I was making stupid mistakes here and there, but I was also like, they weren't stupid mistakes caused by distractions. They were just stupid mistakes because like I overextended or, you know, whatever. I was like consciously thinking about what I did, but I still was wrong. You know what I mean? That feels way better. You feel way better making those mistakes. You feel way confident. You're like, like, oh, I think I can go for this wave instead of this jungle camp. I'm going to go for it. And then you fucking feed. It feels way better to do that than it does to, like, be tilted and randomly die somehow. It feels like it feels way fucking better. So, for you, I can tell you and everyone else to prevent yourself from tilting to teammates and all that stuff. It comes with the same principle as why people do yoga. Do you know why people do yoga? And why they tell you to focus on breath? Do you know why they actually tell you to focus on breath?
I know when you do the breathing exercises, it kind of like calms your heart and makes you center yourself and calm down a little bit.
Do you know why it makes you calm down?
Because it's just very steady and it's like it's reliable and
it's reliable, steady, and it makes you stop thinking about anything that's not.
Yeah.
Okay? That's actually the idea behind it. The idea of breath is it's something that's always there, no matter what you're doing. It's consistent, and if you choose to think about it, the idea is it's a distraction to anything that was, like, clogging your brain before. You know, you were, like, a bunch of thoughts racing, you were freaking yourself out, you were being anxious, you were being nervous, and by centering yourself on your breath, it's not actually, like, making you feel better. It's making you stop thinking about all this shit that's causing you to feel that way. Okay, that is literally just making you stop. So the best way to stop tilting and focusing on your teammates and all this random shit, trust me guys, I do it too. It's a consistent struggle. I'm not saying I'm above this. Is to simply always be thinking about what you're supposed to be doing in the game. Okay, like always. Little micro movements. You're living in your own little world. At the end of the day, Dota is a team game, but it's really 10 individuals who are supposed to individually fill their role in their team's plan. For you as a Wraith King, and most carry heroes, your job is to consistently pressure the map while farming as much as you can, and not get caught out while doing it. But you are supposed to be pushing your limits to the max every single time. And then you win a fight, you're supposed to consider, am I barreling down a lane, or am I going to be taking some efficient farm on the map and clearing it out? Do I want to fight right now? What mode am I in? Am I hitting the next timing? What's our next objective? If you're thinking about all this shit, you don't have time to worry about all the shit your teammates are doing wrong. Like, you don't have any fucking brain power left, dude. You can't think about it. All you'll see is like, ah, shit, I wanted to take Roche, but three of my teammates just fed. I guess I'll wait. Like, that's the degree of that you think about your teammates, because you're so fixated on wanting Roche that you'll think about how their mistakes make you not be able to take Roche. You know, but it stems from that. So, did that help at all?
No, it definitely helps. Okay. I think that's accurate. I mean, I think it's like, you know, I came in with a much better attitude today, and I won 3 in a row today. So
nice, yeah, okay, cool.
And just being able to focus on my own shit helps a lot. It's just the ability to execute on that consistently is.
It's very hard, man. It's very hard to be able to focus on your own shit consistently. So, you don't have shard. You don't have a wand. You're against invoker.
I do get shard soon, I think. But maybe I fucked that up. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
This one was a couple days ago, so.
I feel like in EU, maybe people would actually just barrel it down this lane. I'm like so big on clearing mid wave, clearing this wave, and then like walking back and resuming. Like I am so big on controlling 2 lanes, and then eventually once you control 2 lanes, taking the opportunity to go high ground.
I think what happens here is actually I'm not fully aware of my Aegis timing, and we have a fuck up in a second where the Aegis expires at an opportune time for us.
So I'm going to tell you, at the highest level, when I say highest level, I'm talking legit tier 1 Dota, okay? You have to be able to go high ground in a circumstance where it's the perfect time, okay? I will tell you, it'll get you to 9K, meaning like you don't have to worry about being any better than this until you're above 9K, okay? If you just get 2 lanes in before you go high ground, okay?
Yeah.
Just trust me. Just get 2 lanes in. So right now, you would take that tier 2 mid bottom, and you would blink towards mid right now. You'd clear that. You'd scoop up the wave that spawns at 28 minutes, and if your team's still bottom, you'll go push with them, okay?
Yep.
You can stick to that being black and white for the rest of the time until you're above 9K, all right? That's black and white. Very simple.
I can do that.
You will just win more games than you will lose if you do that. This just looks forced. It's the same idea as Roche. It's like, I want top and mid to be pushed in if you're going to Roche. I want bottom and mid if you're going to push bottom. You know, I want top and mid if you're going to push mid.
I think we were feeling that so my age is expired right there. I think we were feeling like, oh, this age is going to expire. We have to use it. And so leading us to do forced bullshit.
Can I ask why?
I don't know.
Like,
it's just
what about that? You know, like a lot of people think that way.
I don't know.
Are you on a timer? Does like Jug out carry you? Are you at your peak? Is this the strongest you'll ever be?
No, not necessarily.
Then why does the ages fucking matter? The only reason you use your resources at that exact moment is because that is the strongest moment that you'll be at.
Yeah.
It's
I agree.
like,
We're not
you know, like when we were talking about them fighting you, it's like they're going to fight you because this is their best opportunity. No Ravage, no Golem, they're going to go, right? Like this is their best chance. It's like, is this your best chance to go high ground this game?
Probably not. I mean, like we just choke out the map for next.
Like, what if you just get fucking like AC Swift Blink and a BKB, and like
there's nothing they can do,
and then you get second Aegis? Like, what are they gonna fucking do?
Yeah, that's fair, especially because if we control the map right now.
That's what I'm saying, right? Like, why? I hate this TP. I absolutely hate it. So you guys are controlling bottom. Roche isn't gonna start spawning for like 2 to 5 minutes. And all of your vision that's relevant to your team is bottom. I know you have wards top. It's kind of weird that you have wards top, but like I need you to realize that 4 of your team was dedicated. It's similar to how you farming this big camp made your team, who was all hitting top tower,
wasting their time.
These 3 heroes without you cannot control this area. Okay, so you're effectively wasting 3 heroes' time by being here. Like any decent player would immediately call a smoke when they saw this and kill your team. That's like what any player in my bracket would do, okay? Like, they would see this and go, oh, that's exploitable. So what I need you to understand is that if you do this, you are giving up control of their triangle. So you don't have ulti. You don't want to fight them. Maybe that's correct, okay? I'm actually going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you this is strictly wrong. You need to tell your team to get the fuck out of their triangle. Like,
I think I did.
Okay, if you did that, great. They need to get the fuck out. If they stay,
I think I told them, I basically said, like, I don't want to fight for the next, minute because I don't have reincarnation and we're going away. But then we all fight here, and this is,
Okay, and then you guys fight anyway. So, I'm just upset with you that you blinked into them and fought there. That's actually what I'm upset about. I don't care about this TB top. If you said that, that's reasonable. If you wanted to give up control of their triangle because you didn't feel like you could control it, all of that's actually fine with me. The fact that you said to me that you didn't want to fight right here until you're ult and you're going for an item and then you blinked into 4 heroes, that's you tilted or frustrated that your teammates are trying to fight anyway. I guarantee you in my bracket, I would 10 times rather my carry say, I am not fighting here, and then just not showing up. Like, I would, like, if they do that, it's 10 times better than the carry getting baited by his team. Okay? Yeah. The carry at 30 minutes in the game is the sole decider of whether or not that your team fights in most games. Okay?
Yeah.
And I don't want to say sole decider. He is the guy that will dictate his own contribution of fights, meaning that if he says he wants to fight, fight with him. If he says he does not want to fight, you better know he is not showing up. And if any carry does not want to fight and in 30 minutes in the game and his team does something and then he joins the fight because of whatever, you're fucking yourself. You're literally just screwing yourself. Like, that's what you're doing. So really be more Be more confident, more persistent.
To follow through, and that's
Some
good, yeah.
conviction. Yeah, have some conviction. That's the word I was looking for. Okay, so not the end of the world. This is a really big deal, by the way. So, do you remember what I said to you? What do you think I'm actually going to talk about right now?
Let's see here. I probably should be at the lane. Pushing, creating pressure. I'm not creating that pressure.
So, what part of the lane should you be at?
I mean, I think if I was going to do this again, we can either be pushing top and mid or bottom and mid. Bottom and mid. Mid's already.
It's obviously
pushed.
top and mid because Roche is your objective.
Yeah.
So when I said which part of the lane you're going to be at, it's 100% top. Let's not act like that was a hard question. What part of the lane are you at? The top lane. Like, what part of the top lane are you at?
Should I be just, like, cutting the wave right north of where I am right now?
Which wave? This one or this one?
No, the next one.
Why this one?
Yeah. Because it's just more fit. I can stay closer to the fight if something breaks out.
Because that is the most aggressive farm on the map that you can take. That is the simple fucking answer.
Yeah.
Also, what may the timer have to do with this? This is something I learned from Koikfa, so I didn't think about it this way until the last few months or so.
You broke up for 1 second. What made the timer what?
What may the time in the game have to do with this decision?
What made the time in the game have to do with this? Well, we're gonna have catapults coming up in a few minutes.
So if the exact jungles look like this, meaning all the camps were here, and it was 34, what would I tell you to do? Like 32, 34 on the minute, because all we care is about minutes, right? Because all of Dota operates on minutes. So if it was 32, 34 right now, what would I tell you to do?
32, 34. I'm not sure.
Clear this, clear this, clear this, clear that, and then what?
And then hit the wave, because then I can hit the wave and then come
and
back
then
and
clear the wave at 33, right here. And then why is that such a big deal?
Because then you get to farm the whole jungle again.
Then you get to farm backwards. That's what Koikfa's exact words were. Farm backwards. I need you to think about it. If you farm backwards on the minute, okay? Meaning the entire minute you are farming backwards. I need you to think, if the enemy team's trying to smoke you, like kill you, you are literally running away from them while you're farming, okay? First off.
You're running towards your team.
And if they try to farm the area that you just left, it's already fucking gone.
Yeah.
It's literally fucking gone.
Like, they're just spending time chasing you.
So if you sit here, they may be able to farm this camp, or they may be able to make a move on your team. But if you put yourself right here and you farm your way backwards, what is there for them to gank? Yeah. Like, what are they ganking? An empty jungle camp? Like, so what if they make a smoke move that takes their jungle back? You know, like, it's all gone. Yeah. It's literally not fucking there. And then you just rinse and repeat it the next minute. So I want this to be a huge thing for 4 to 5K carry players. Please farm according to the minute. It's actually quite within your guys' capability to, like, think this way. It's quite in your capability. The second he mentioned it to me, I was like, holy shit, that's so obvious. But I had never even thought about it. So what I mean is, it's like one of those concepts where it's like not intuitive until it's told to you. You know, it's like, oh, yeah, that seems pretty fucking obvious now that you're telling me. I never thought about farming backwards on the minute, but it's actually so fucking good. So yeah, don't find yourself farming forwards on the minute. Win avoidable. You see that? Yep. Win avoidable. Do not farm forwards. What you want to do is you want to, like, farm like this and then smoke with your team and fuck these guys. That's what you... Like, you know, you were off the map the entire time, too. They had no idea what you were doing. They had to play super scared. Okay, so we're eventually going to buy that shard, I assume. Okay. Okay.
I think we wasted time going after that guy, honestly, too.
No, I think that's fine. Your whole point is to get them in their base. So. What's your objective right now?
What's my objective?
Yeah.
Probably the next Roche. Not too far away. Should be up any second.
Okay.
If it's not up already.
Okay.
We have no vision on it.
Okay. No. So I'm trying to think of how to get you to understand this concept. What do you think I want you to do right now? Look at the timer. Think about the situation in the game. Look at who's respawning and all that jazz.
Well, I think you probably want us to create pressure.
And if you want an objective, what's the best thing to do at this type of situation? And this type of situation means that the opponent is missing a hero, which means you can separate more than you normally would be allowed to. Like, if he was alive, you can't just ditch your team for, like, the time that he's alive, because then that's when your team gets, like, 5-man ganked and dies, right?
Yeah.
So this is specifically referencing when you've gotten, like, a pick off or, like, 1 or 2 heroes is dead. I want that to be very clear. That's, like, the required condition for this to be the thought process, okay? That's, like, required. So
yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
I feel like we could go. I mean, we could go after that Invoker right now, but it's kind of slippery. And like run right into their jungle and try to get, press up, make a fight happen right now to press the advantage.
So what you're not understanding, and a lot of people don't understand, is that there's 2 ways to press an advantage. One is to hunt heroes, which is what you're talking about. A lot of people understand that one. What's the other one?
The whole map.
Okay, cool. So, when Ember's alive, theoretically, one way to punish him being dead is to have all the lanes shoved in. So what could you do in the next 20 seconds exactly that would collapse the entire map on the opponent?
I could run bottom and like just cut the wave bottom.
You would blink bottom with SNY phase boots running at 515 move speed. And right after you clear that wave, what are you doing?
Probably after I clear that wave, farming the ancients and farming back towards mid.
Does farming that ancient collapse the map on the opponent?
No.
What collapsed the map on the opponent right after you cut bottom?
Well, I dropped skeletons and hit the wave. Keep the wave pushed in.
Yes. So let's theorize this. This is really obvious when I lay it out like this. Right now, your team's going to clear mid. You're going to clear bottom. Now what?
They'll have to fix it. Then we can go Roche.
And while they're fixing it, what are you going to do?
Roche.
What needs to be done right before you go Roche?
Pushing the waves in.
Which wave is left?
Oh, top.
Dude, it's so fucking obvious, guys. Think about it. What does the opponent fucking do if your team pushes mid, you cut bottom, you TP top, and you blink down the lane top, lane shoved in top, and you hit Roche? What are they going to do about it? Please tell me. Give me an exact play that they can do anything about that.
I don't know.
They can't do any fucking jack shit, dude. They can't do anything. They literally can't do anything. You realize that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest part of this is this wouldn't work if they were all alive. Okay? Because, like, that's, like, incredibly greedy. So, like, you go bottom, your team pushes mid, you TP top, clear that, and connect with your team. That can't happen while they're all alive, right? Like,
yep.
Your team will just get killed. But, dude, why can't people realize when you kill somebody like that Ember, you said it was a waste of time. You know why it's not a waste of time? Because all 3 lanes should be shoved into his freaking base by the time he's alive. All of them. Because he's the guy that's pushing them. It's the freaking Ember spirit. Like, Ember, Invoker, all these guys are pushing waves. So, like, I want you guys to realize, you don't always have to hunt people, man. You hunt people when all 3 lanes feel good. Like, you look at the lanes, you're like, damn, those are good. Run it down. You know, like, go get some people. My exact pattern would be to rewind here. Would be to farm this Ancient, because it's 34 minutes. Let my team push mid, because I don't need to help them do that. And then I would blink here, cut this, TP top, run it down. And the enemy team has literally no play. Absolutely no play. Okay. Now that I just passionately, verbally assaulted you, let's move on through the game. Now we have this awkward lane sitting down here where Invoker's going to TP to it and push it out. Now we have to go chase after mid. Why do I have an issue with you going top right now?
Why didn't you choose me going top? Let's see.
Okay, timeout. Where should you go top right now?
More aggressively, probably. And
Where's that?
Like, I wish I could ping it. Basically, like northeast of where I am, like to that wave. Yes, there.
Okay, you're noticing it. Stop whatever this bull crap is. Dude, you're just yoinking your tide, man. Cut that wave right here, man. It's such a big deal. It adds up so much, guys. I can't tell you. Just cut it right there. You're done with it 4 seconds later, and then you're blinking towards this fuck. And then you get here in time. You should cut this, and then freaking beeline it to right here. You see what I'm saying? Like, beeline, like, what is this? Okay. Okay. Let me make this very clear. This isn't something I learned until maybe 2 years ago, maybe 3, okay? And to be clear, I was like 8K when I learned this. So I don't expect most of you to know this, okay? That's fine. It still ticks me off, but I don't expect you to know it. When you are not team fighting, and you are just farming, and we're waiting for the next objective, do you know what the #1 objective in the game is?
When you're just waiting for the next objective?
Yeah, when you're waiting for the next objective, you're just farming. Both teams are just farming. What dictates who's controlling the map?
Where the creeps are.
What is the specific objective that controls who is controlling the map?
Keep the lanes pushed in.
Which lane?
In this case, I probably want
No.
top.
In every case. Literally every case. If you understand how the dead lane works, how does the dead lane theory work? Can you give me a TLDR?
I would like to hear you give it to me. No, I don't know if I can
Dead lane means that it's not
you're gonna die if
possible
you go
to
there.
control all 3 lanes.
Right.
The dead lane theory is predicated around the fact that when both teams are existing, it is not possible to control all 3 lanes, okay? Because if you control all 3 lanes, you're spreading your resources too thin, okay? And they'll just kill you. Note how the one time I told you to farm all 3 lanes was when you killed Ember. That was the one time I told you to farm all 3 lanes. So the game is just normal. Nothing special is happening, okay? Nothing crazy, okay? So first off, I just want you to imagine that this wave was killed. Let's just remember that. Let's just imagine that that wave was killed. That was your cutting that would have done that. So second off, let's actually ignore that. Ignore that. Don't get distracted. So if you cannot control all 3 waves, what is the one lane, if you're controlling 2, that you will always control?
Mid.
So what is the most important objective that decides who's controlling the map?
How pushed in mid is.
Okay. So I will tell you, from any competitive level player's perspective, that when your team is 5-manning like this, and you individually let a centaur walk up and clear this, it is so fucking low skill from our perspective. We're like, dude, this is so obvious. How? So what I need you guys to understand, at the highest level, this lane is literally death. And it's not because it's the dead lane. It's because it's the most important objective in the game. This is the equivalent of this guy hitting your tier 2 by himself. Like, that's what this danger level should be. Okay? Like, that's what this should be. This is, like, insane that he's allowed to do this. Like, I'm being very clear to everyone watching. So, when we rewind, and it's 34 minutes into the game, 34 flat, why it is so important for you guys to understand map movements is you clear this wave, you run through their jungle. Guess what you don't have time to do? You do not have time to run all the way to here, and back to here by 34:40. You do not have time. But guess what you do have time for? Here,
run from like there to
here,
there. Yeah.
and then back. You do have time for that. And guess what?
Yep.
That Centaur, who's walking down that lane like a dumbass, thinking because he's in 4K, he's been allowed to do that for his entire life, is going to run into you right there. And you may not kill him, okay? I'm not saying you're going to kill him, but you're going to, like, stun him. You're going to bring him down to, like, half HP. And instead of clearing this wave for free, sorry, it's going to be the next wave, he's sitting underneath this tier 3 while you're killing Roche. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see this? Okay.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
So, guys.
Yeah, I go back and chase the wave a lot.
Yes. I don't get to talk about this very much, okay? This is actually why you don't go back and chase the wave. Is because you just don't have time to travel that far and do the things in the game that actually matter. Okay? So, the game, in this case, I want you and everyone to remember this. When there is no clear objective, or you're trying to set up the map to get an objective, the mid lane has to be the number one priority from both teams. If you watch competitive Tier 1 Dota, players will 4-man camp behind the guy pushing mid just to make sure he's okay, to let him push that wave. Because they treat it like he's sieging a tower, like they're treating it like he's taking an objective. They're protecting him as he takes that objective. Like, watch it. Watch how much Tier 1 teams emphasize the mid lane 30 minutes plus. Like, watch it. You guys can watch it. You can watch how much they battle over it. It's literally the most number one contested thing in the game. 34 minute, like 30, 25 minutes plus. Okay? Because, like, at that point, usually a lot of the towers are gone.
Yep.
There's no, like, clear next step. It's just like, okay, we're waiting for Roche. Both teams are farming. Eventually a fight's going to happen, but we're just, all that kind of shit. You guys know what I'm talking about. There's a stage in the game. Happens every game. And mid lane. Mid lane. Right now, somebody on your team should be there. It should be you. It should be the guy that's hardest to kill. Should be that guy.
Yep.
And if it ain't one of your teammates, make it you, if possible. So, once again, we do have a shard at least. The healing ward, GG. Okay. I want you to imagine. If you didn't let this guy clear this wave, okay? Let's just, like, portray the map from their perspective. You cut bottom. So instead of being at, like, right here, the wave's more like right here, okay? Before you left. The wave's more like right here. That's about where it'd be. You then didn't let this guy clear this wave. So this wave of yours is alive, and theirs is dead. So what's going to happen is that this wave's going to be right here. And then top lane's going to be normal because the tide cleared over here and you cleared this one. So top lane's the same. So now the 3 lanes are this, and about right here. So what does the enemy team see at that point?
Nothing. I see like darkness.
They maybe control their triangle, right? Like
they see that one ward they have.
Yeah, and they're maybe up here, right? Like that's about where they are.
Yeah.
What could you guys be doing?
Roaching for free, pretty much.
Okay. Now, let's go to like competitive level thinking. You could Roche, but if you just have like a ward here, what could you do?
We could. I mean, presumably at some point, I bet you in this bracket, like one of the supports would try to come and get vision and things like that, and we could like basically wait at the high ground in their jungle and just like
So what you'll see in competitive is this lane gets pushed in, this lane's like right here, this lane's pushed in, and just like 3 heroes just sit right here.
Yeah.
And one of them, they're either like 5-man smoking you up a hill, or like a support walks up the D ward and just fucking dies. And then you take Rosh. But my point is that when the enemy team sits in their base, this wave is here, this wave is here, and this wave is here. They are terrified. They might not even contest you, man. Like, they might not even know. Like, they might not even feel safe to go. And it's like, the biggest thing is that what you will see is this wave. If they're smoking to contest you, you will see this wave walking to their tier 3. Like, that's what you're going to see. And you just have all the information in the world to know that they are coming. Right? Like, they are coming. And you know it. Right? And so I'm emphasizing to everyone here watching that you are supposed to take Rosh here. The way you're doing it is exploitable. It'll work 50 to 70% of the time. Okay? It's going to work sometimes. The way I'm telling you to do it is not beatable. Like, it's not beatable. Like, when pro teams that are up by 8K play perfectly, they will never lose. But in Dota, at the highest level, it's incredibly difficult to play perfectly. Okay? Like, let's just be clear.
Makes sense.
So you have a way to play this that's not exploitable. And you guys are exploitable. So it all has to do with the lanes. And I want that emphasis there. I think you got this. Like, you could play Wraith King a bunch with this in mind, because you're always the guy that can push mid there late game. Wraith King's like one of the #1 carries. Like, if you're Faceless Void, you're not pushing that mid wave. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to show. You don't want them to see you late game.
Yeah. I want them to initiate on me.
Yeah, exactly. Wraith King's a perfect carry to practice this on. Okay. So, it's like we waited all that time for Rosh, and now we just lost it. Okay. You know, we've been talking a lot. When did we start this? Just to make sure I get it. We started... Let's get to a second.
Hour ago.
Yeah, we started about an hour and 5-10 minutes ago. Okay. Which one do you want me to watch? The 605 or the 027?
Let's do... That actually, either one, it's fine. Those are the last 2 games I played, so it'll be very fresh. I played them like 2 hours ago.
Cool. If you liked this video, please like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel, all that shenanigans, because at the end of the day, YouTube does care about that. You may not care about it, I may not care about it, but the YouTube algorithm does. So please do.